The culture of the Philippines is what makes the country stand out among others. Filipinos are known to be very clever and hardworking when put into different situations. They always find ways to adapt and overcome different obstacles. Filipino ingenuity is one of the most notable characteristics of Filipino people in building and constructing new ideas that benefit the Philippines in a variety of ways, representing the resourcefulness of people to be able to adapt to any given circumstances. It can be manifested and interpreted in many ways, may it be food, clothing, or architecture.
One prominent architectural example of the ingenuity of Filipinos is the Bahay Kubo, which is a hut that is typically built with bamboos and pawid. Because the Philippines is a tropical country, these culturally and geographically unique characteristics in houses were crafted by Filipinos, enabling them to have proper air circulation inside their homes without needing the aid of electric fans, air coolers, and the like. However, as modernization happens in the country, these kinds of characteristics in structures are left in the past. The societal progression and its factors, including global influences, have reduced the ability of Filipinos to showcase ingenuity in their designs.
As a result, the modern world now faces an ingenuity gap, which is defined as a shortfall between the need for creativity and the superficial knowledge people possess. Therefore, emerged a question before the research was even started: what is Filipino architectural ingenuity as reflected in the construction of the Bahay Kubo? The study intends to expound Filipino architectural ingenuity that is reflected in the construction of the Bahay Kubo. The findings of this study can be utilized by the researchers, with the help of a professional, to develop an architectural design plan for a classroom which is reflective of the said indigenous ingenuity. Aside from creating an architectural design plan, the study can also be a potential intellectual reference for future researchers.
Muling Pagtuklas sa Karunungang Lipas, fathoming Filipino architectural ingenuity in the construction of the Bahay Kubo.
To answer this question, we knew we needed to interview those who experienced the phenomenon firsthand. We selected co-researchers who met these qualifications. First, builders who have been erecting Bahay Kubo for at least 5 years and have experienced living in one for no less than 5 years as well. Second, architects who have been working in the field for no less than 15 years and once experienced building a Bahay Kubo. A total of 7 co-researchers were selected and interviewed in order to saturate the data, 5 of which are carpenters and 2 are architects. They are not subjected to any harm during the study.
This study is a qualitative research because according to Denzin and Lincoln in 1994, the said procedure is deep in focus and is naturalistic when approaching the co-researchers. Thus, qualitative research was used in this study in order to gather substantial and deep data. Furthermore, co-researchers were interviewed in a natural setting. Specifically, this study is a phenomenology in form. According to Creswell in 2013, phenomenology is an approach to qualitative research that focuses on the commonality of a lived experience within a particular group. Considering Creswell's, this research studied Filipino architectural ingenuity as a lived experience in the context of those who constructed the Bahay Kubo. Their statements were analyzed using the descriptive method of research by Georgie in order to understand the Filipino architectural ingenuity in the construction of a Bahay Kubo. We reviewed, reread, and reflected the data, and made sure they had been already saturated. After gaining insights about the phenomenon, we winnowed and coded the data into descriptive meanings. Then, we synthesized these meanings to create the general structure of Filipino ingenuity by making a diagram that answers the research problem. To make sure we don't have inaccuracies, we asked an expert to check our work and guide us to the correct path.
After 3 months of researching, we have constructed a sunburst diagram to expound Filipino ingenuity. It has 3 major arcs: kagandahan, kairalan, and karanasan. Moreover, there are also 6 sub-arcs underneath these main arcs. This diagram resembles a multi-level pie chart because every component is a part of the same whole. Although we separated the arcs, they are still connected with each other as shown by the broken lines. It's beautiful kagandahan. Kagandahan describes the creativity of Filipinos that can be seen in the physical structure of the Bahay Kubo. this arc is aesthetic inventiveness. This sub-arc prioritized the outer beauty of the structure, such as the design and the proportion of the Bahay Kubo. Laying the foundation kairalan. When building a Bahay Kubo, we need to focus on the functionality of the structure, such that individual parts fulfill their roles in maintaining the well-being of the structure. In this dimension are resilient inventiveness and sustainable inventiveness. Resilient inventiveness maintains the well-being of the structure against natural forces due to the Philippines having a high exposure to disasters such as floods, typhoons, and earthquakes. This ingenuity came to be.
Matagalan yan, aabot na 5 taon. 5 taon? Oo, matagalan yan.
Malakas ang hangin, masisira. Kailangan lalagyan ng lambat yun. Lambat ang ganyan yun.
Resilient inventiveness is also against parasite-induced threats.
Hindi mabubulok siya.
Mabubulok po.
Para hindi mabulok.
Para di mabulok.
Lupa. Kailangan iangat mo sa taas. Tapos dito sa baba, ipapatong para hindi ano ng anay.
On the other hand, sustainable inventiveness prioritizes the overall lifespan of the Bahay Kubo. Bahay Kubo can also be easily repaired.
Maingat ka, abutin ng kanya, 10 taon.
Kailangan unang i-repair yan bubong. Yung ano, yung pawid, kasi masisira yan eh. Mga 4. Kailangan palit ka na.
Let's experience it karanasan. It is very important to consider the collective experiences involved in the process of building a kubo. There are 3 subcategories: practical, adaptable, and inherited inventiveness. Due to the desire of self-preservation, we want to do things that are easy. Practical inventiveness emphasizes the ease in making the kubo. Moreover, Filipino used the available materials such as bamboo, anaho leaves, and nipa palms in constructing the kubo.
Madaling gawin. Kung maliit lang na siya na bahay kubo, isang araw, kung didiretso i-straight, tapos maliit lang yung sukat ng kubo, isang araw lang pwedeng matapos.
Compared to practical inventiveness, adaptable inventiveness also gives comfort, but it is directed to the inhabitants. Since the Philippines is a tropical country with a hot climate, we need to take into account the heat, airflow, noise, and light in constructing the kubo.
Malamig siya. Kumpara sa ibang bahay, mainit yung mainit. So, oo. Yung sa bahay kubo, malamig yun kasi puro kawayan.
Kasi pag...
Malamig sa katawan yun.
bakit medyo...
Saig, para malamig, para singaw. Parang katay sa saig ka. Malamig yung saig, yung simento, sisingaw yun.
Lastly, inherited inventiveness are experiences gained from the predecessors. Filipinos learn many things from their predecessors, and it also includes the construction of the Bahay Kubo.
Ayun ang kadalasan ginagawa. Ano, tingnan ko lang yung gawa nila. Tingnan ko, tapos yung sukat. Kasi pag di mo rin makuha ang sukat, magaling. Kasi pag di pawid, parang hindi na bahay kubo, yero.
With this research, we still believe that Filipino architectural ingenuity can still be manifested in our structures today. These structures must embody kagandahan, kairalan, and karanasan to show Filipino ingenuity. As an example, we constructed an architectural design plan for a classroom that manifests these characteristics. We still believe that we can inspire more people to include Filipino architectural ingenuity in their works.